All right, everybody. Welcome back to the Autumn Transport Podcast live stream. Good to have you guys here. We have a great guest that's going to be joining me tonight. Katrina Hillard is going to be here. She's one of our pneumatic drivers at Autumn and somebody that I've really enjoyed working with and getting to know over the past few years. Before we bring Katrina on, though, I wanted to go ahead and share with you guys. Hopefully you guys saw this. We had it on our Facebook and our Instagram. We had it on our YouTube. But one of our dispatchers, Adam, works in the pneumatic division, helped me make this awesome video. Let me see if I can figure out how to share it with the screen here. There we go. Little fun dispatcher mean tweet video. So hopefully you guys got a chance to see this. If you didn't, I'm going to go ahead and play it for you and enjoy.
The traffic today is my dispatcher Tom's brain, perpetually slow and congested. Coming from you? Really?
I'd love to see my dispatcher Gideon try to meet his own deadlines. 55 mile per hour speed limit, 100 mile per hour dispatcher. That sounds about right. That's accurate. Okay. You good to go? Yeah. So.
Sorting through all the words and details in Tyler's emails make rush hour traffic seem like a joyride. Hashtag keep it simple stupid. You're welcome.
Dispatcher Julie keeps asking if I need a break. Lady, the only break I'm taking is when this engine blows up or I'm dead. Is this from Tracy Calder?
Dispatcher Tom keeps asking if I'm comfortable with my route. Buddy, I've been driving since your mama wiped your butt. Well, that could have been yesterday.
If there was an award for dispatching loads filled with delays and demurrage, my dispatcher Jake would win it every time. Hashtag gold medal. That sounds right.
All right, this one's from the at the CSA sucks. The squirrel that just dodged my rig on the highway had better route planning skills than my dispatcher Darren. Maybe it's time for a career change for both of us. All right, well, thank you.
Just informed my dispatcher Brenton that I don't have wings. Apparently flying over rush hour traffic wasn't out of the question in his mind. No, it's not. Get the load there and call me tomorrow.
I'd rather plant poison ivy in my butt than accept the next junky load my dispatcher, Katie, offers me. Well, let me get you that poison ivy.
Well, hey, I hope you guys enjoyed that. Just want to give a shout out again to Adam for the editing on that and what a great job that he did. And now I would like to welcome our guest. Katrina Hillard is here tonight. Hi, Katrina. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Brenton?
I wish I was doing better, to be honest with you.
Really? Why?
The reason is because on Sunday, my son Jake invited me to play on his softball team, and I pulled a hamstring trying to score a run. So I've officially reached the age where I'm old enough to hurt myself playing softball.
Well, what comes after that is you're old enough to hurt yourself, but sneezing or bending over funny or right around the corner.
Yeah. But it is good. It's good to have you here. So that makes my night a little bit better. Where are you coming to us from tonight?
So I'm in Nocona, Texas, which is where I was born and raised. Most of my life I spent right here in this town.
Okay. Where I know, Dallas and Houston, where's Nocona, Texas?
Nocona is north of Dallas, about 110 miles, and
Okay.
it's famous
It's
for
famous.
it's famous. Yeah,
Okay.
Nocona is famous. I don't know if you've heard of Nocona boots, but it made this town really. It was built on boots and leather. Nocona Boots and Nocona Belt Company.
Oh, okay. So it's a cowboy boot town.
Yes,
Nice. Do you got a pair?
yes. They don't actually make them here anymore.
Okay.
Um, but they still exist. They're still made, just not here. But yeah,
Gotcha.
we all have Nocona boots and Nocona belt.
Well, next time you come up to the office, I hope you're gonna be wearing them so I can check them out.
I will. I will.
I've kind of had Dallas on the mind recently. Have you ever heard of CrossFit?
Yeah, I've heard of it. Don't do it, but I've heard of it.
Well, one, you should do it if you could, and two, because anybody can do CrossFit. It's a misconception that it's only for like crazy athletes.
Okay.
Anybody can do CrossFit, even old guys like me who pull their hamstrings. But there's a thing called the CrossFit Games, and it happens every year. And all the best of the best in the world, actually, CrossFitters have a 3-day competition to crown what they call the fittest on earth. And it's actually being hosted in Fort Worth this weekend.
Okay.
So have you ever heard of Dickies Arena?
Yeah. It used to be something else. Will Rogers Coliseum. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So they've done it the past 3 years. They had done it in Madison, and this year they moved it down to Fort Worth. And everyone is all concerned that the weather is going to be too hot for the athletes to be doing things outside.
Gonna be toasty, I bet.
Yeah. What's the temperature there now?
And it was 101 today. Yeah. And it's
101.
probably a little warmer in Fort Worth because, it's always a little bit warmer in the cities. So, yeah.
Oh my word. And did you tell me that you don't have air in your truck right now?
Yeah, that's why I'm at home instead of in the truck. I was on my way to Nevada with a load, and it
Okay.
went off yesterday. So I just wanted to take it to the shop.
Yeah. I wonder if there's some kind of I don't know, not a curse, but Chris Thomas was the first guy that I had interviewed on this for this live stream. And when I did that interview, he was in a hotel because the air conditioning was out on his truck. And he had just gone through Nevada with you said Nevada. I never say Nevada. I say Nevada, Nevada. I don't know. Nevada. I don't know. Now I don't even know what I say, but that's where Chris was. And he made it through. He said he felt like I don't know, like a frog boiling in a pot, just sitting in the truck with no air conditioning.
Yeah, I don't really want to do it. It seems like every year I have to do it for a couple of days. There's a air conditioner problem every summer, but I'm gonna wait on that, and maybe since I'm so close to a shop that I know and trust, I thought I would go ahead and try to get it fixed instead of being a boiling frog. I want to do it.
Yeah. Well, you'll recognize this name. I don't know if you can see the comments here, but Fern is on. She's watching with us tonight, and she says she hopes you get your truck fixed, Katrina.
Fern's awesome. We love Fern.
We do. We all love Fern. Thanks for watching, Fern. I see Robert on here. Thanks, Robert, for watching tonight. So, Katrina, how long have you been with Autumn?
8.5 years now.
Okay. Do you remember how you first found out about the company and why you made the decision to join on as an owner-operator partner?
I do. I was actually really torn about it because I'd heard a lot of horror stories about, buying a truck with a company. I was working in the oil field at the time at Holland Frac Sand. And I
Okay.
was working with Shane Raymond, and, who's still there. And his brother was Justin Sadley, stepbrother.
Okay.
And he was telling me, when we were all looking, when the oil field was dying and we were all looking for something different, he was telling me about Autumn, and he said, my stepbrother Justin's done really well with them, and I think I'm going to go try it. And I said, well, would you keep me posted? Let me know how it works for you, because I was looking, we were all looking, and I watched him for like 2 or 3 weeks, and then I called, and it was just Josh Wallen by himself back then.
Yep.
I called Josh, and I was like, can I come on? And I don't think before that there had been a female pneumatic driver. Maybe, I don't think that there had. And so, we started the process, and it took probably 3 or 4 weeks before Josh had all of my paperwork together. And they said, come on. So,
yeah. It's funny,
never
you
looked back.
drivers, you guys move in packs. One guy is willing to like be the guinea pig to go check out a new company, and then if everything goes well, there 3 or 4 people tend to kind of follow with him. Hey, Gene Johnson, Katrina, you probably know Gene.
Oh yes, Gene's my buddy.
Gene's everybody's buddy.
I know. Yeah.
So about 8 years ago is when you made the decision to come on over here to Autumn, and clearly you don't have any regrets. I mean, if you've been here for 8.5 years.
Oh no, I will not do this with. I don't want to do this with another company. We're independent contractors, but Autumn gives you a lot of support, and I just, I like that support. I don't want to be all alone in the world trying to do this, trying to navigate all these things. And I guess they give you as much or as little as you need, but you need some people, and I'll take it. I appreciate not being or feeling like I'm all alone, with this truck and all of the breakdowns, and it's a lot. I'm sure it's a lot if you were born and raised into doing it, and owning several, it would probably still be a lot just because. But to me, it's overwhelming at times still, and I'm glad that I'm where I'm at. I don't think I would have been successful anywhere else, and I know I would not have been as happy, because Autumn feels one, and they do value your family time. And if you say you're having a problem at home, that's really all they need to hear. If you're having a problem, a family-related problem, they're going to be able to do anything they can do to help and get you there and be supportive. That's pretty rare, pretty priceless.
Yeah. Well, it's good to hear you say that. I think it's interesting. We're seeing, even as you're talking, how Autumn is a family, not just from dispatcher to driver partner, but we have all these drivers who, Roy says he definitely had to check in to see this. Roy Wallace. We got Mike Nolan. He's a Texas guy. Ben Wilson is watching, and he says hi to you, Katrina. So I do want to go back. You said you're not sure that you would have been successful somewhere else. I don't believe that's true. I don't think your success is because of Autumn. I think it's because of who you are and the energy that you bring. Like, look at all these people logging on just to say hi to you tonight. You bring smiles to everybody's faces wherever you go.
Well, thank you. I don't know what to say to that. Thank you. I really appreciate all these guys that I work with, and all of their families. That it's not just the people that I work with, but even their families have always been very accepting. So I couldn't be more grateful for that.
You said something interesting. You said that when you joined up with Autumn, you think that you were the first female owner operator to work in the pneumatic division.
I think I was. I know that Hoppers had one. A lady had been working there with her husband, maybe. Mary had told me. That was back when Mary was here.
Okay.
But I don't know that there had been another female before me. I'm not positive about that, but somebody had told me that, and maybe it was Josh, or maybe it was and I can't remember his name, but he was the man that did my test drive. Drew. So a long time ago. So I'm not really sure. But I think somebody had told me that, and it stuck in my head. I'm honestly not sure if that's true or not. Maybe you can find out. I don't know that it matters.
Well,
I'm curious.
It's interesting because there just aren't that many females in the industry. That's something that's changing. More and more females are deciding to make a career as a truck driver or as an owner operator. I know at Autumn last year, we kind of, excuse me, kicked up the effort and we joined the Women in Trucking platform. And we are a place that has many female drivers. I have a couple that work in the liquid tank division with me, and I know you're not the only female in the pneumatic division now. What has it been like? What has it been like for you as a female in the trucking industry?
Honestly, I've been really fortunate, and I know that I've been blessed because usually I've been in a company where I've gotten to know people like in trucking in the oil field, in the frac sand. We were a close knit group, and it wasn't just me and the guy, you know. But their families, their wives, their friends, you know, were all really accepting of me. So I feel like I've dodged a lot of bullets just because of the people that are around me or have always been around me. And that's just, I mean, God's had his hand on that. There's no doubt. Because I've heard horror stories from people, and I really haven't had to deal with too much of the negative. Honestly, it's been a lot of positive energy. A lot of people have really rallied to help me do this and to help me make friends, be successful, feel comfortable, teach me things that I didn't know that I was going to need to know. I couldn't begin to list all of the people that have helped me along the way.
Do you feel, Katrina, like things have changed? Maybe they haven't changed. You tell me. I can imagine a scenario where you show up somewhere to load or to unload, and maybe one of the people at that facility is like, "Oh, this is a woman. Like, what's she doing here? She's not going to know how to back this trailer in." Or do you feel like you get treated differently by people in the places that you go, or are most people kind of like, "Hey, a truck driver is a truck driver"?
It still happens quite a bit, and a lot of times it happened the last unload I did last week. I was in Georgia, and I pulled in to a place to unload, and the man who was in charge of the unloading, he walked up to me, and he wasn't being mean or, he didn't be rude, but he looked really concerned, actually. He looked worried and a little scared. He goes, "Do you know how to do this?" And I really couldn't help myself. I told Tom, the dispatcher, story the other day. I couldn't help myself. I looked at him with a really serious face and I said, "No, you?" And then I let him suffer for a minute and I said, Yeah, I've been doing this for a while. But he said, "I'm sorry. I've just never seen a woman pull in here to do this." And it's not just me that gets that. Robin, I know Robin gets that too. Whenever she pulls into places, we hear that a lot and we'll compare notes. And then sometimes by the time we leave, they'll be, our biggest fan.
Yeah.
Saying things to us like, "Oh, you unloaded so fast," or "I was so worried and thank you for, whatever." But yeah, I still get it a lot.
Well, we should get you some stickers to put on your truck because you were I think it was in 2019 that you were the Autumn Driver of the Year.
Yes.
Yeah. And then, a couple years ago, I think 2022, you were the Minnesota Trucking Association Driver of the Month. And I think that was the first time I really got a chance to get to know you. And when you came up for the banquet, which was a ton of fun.
It was.
And everybody was a little surprised because you got to really, I guess, express some femininity wearing a dress to that banquet.
Yeah.
When you had your hair done and everything.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah.
I had been talking to Shelley Moody, Todd Moody's wife, which is just another example of how many of the wives have been, all of them. Nobody could treat me better than the wives. And you would think that it wouldn't be so, but I've just been blessed after people. And she was telling me they had been there the year before. And so she was giving me the lay of the land. And she said, you can dress up. It's nice. And when she told me that, Todd really dressed out.
Oh, yeah,
even
that
though
was a
we're
big deal.
girls. Yeah, I thought, well, if Todd Moody did it, I have to. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Todd is he's a great guy. He's been with our company for a long time, and he's worked in pneumatics. He worked in liquid tanks. Now he's in hoppers. And Todd is well known for his overalls. So when he came up to the banquet, seeing him in a suit, that was probably more shocking than seeing you dressed up in a dress with your hair done, Katrina. You just look pretty, and Todd just looks so different. None of us could quite believe it.
Thank you so much. Sorry, Todd.
So, Katrina, I think you run one of the older trucks in our fleet, don't you?
Yeah, it's not the oldest I know. At least I know, like you mentioned Chris earlier. And I know that his truck is older than mine. And I'm sure there's others. But yeah, it's a 2006 Peterbilt.
Okay.
379.
What's kept you from, working with Josh buying a new truck?
Well, Josh has been really helpful so that I didn't have to. Because for several reasons. I really like that old truck. I really love that old truck. I joke around and tell people that truck's my husband. And it's been pretty good to me. So I am fond of my truck. It's my baby. It has its own name. And the other thing is, and maybe some of this might, be psychosomatic. I don't think so. But any truck with the DEF system, it just really seems to affect my asthma.
Really?
No, it's supposed to be a cleaner air experience for people, or at least for the environment. But it's pretty hard on me.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to deal with it also. So
Yeah.
I'm happy with the old faithful. What I'm happy with.
Well, I know how that goes, and I know how you can, fall in love with something when you joke that it's your husband. I got a pickup, and when a couple years ago, I went out to Colorado. I was doing some hunting and drove out there with a couple buddies. We parked the truck at the bottom of a mountain and transported all our gear to the top and spent a week out there. And I felt weird, and I feel weird saying it, but I got to be honest. I just, by a week, I missed my truck. I couldn't wait to get back to my pickup. We came down that mountain, and I was just so happy to see her sitting there at the bottom, just waiting for me. So, I suppose if your semi is your livelihood and you spend in weeks at a time with it, you better be happy and comfortable and enjoy it.
I noticed you refer to your pickup as a she.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Mine's a male.
That's your man.
His name is Petey Pie. I don't know if you've named your pickup or not.
That I have not done. No, that'll be, I think, the next step in my relationship with my truck will be to give it a name.
Probably should be just.
So, you mentioned Robin. I know the two of you are good friends. You got a lot of friends on the fleet. Probably want to shout out to Robin. Hey, Robin, I miss having you stop by the office. What have you recruited people to come to Autumn?
Yeah, I have. I'm no longer in the top of that. I was at one time. I had recruited more than anybody, they told me. But I think Chuck Haviland has me beat now.
Oh, Chuck, yeah.
So that's what I think maybe Mark Tiedman told me that Chuck had beaten my number. So
you're gonna have to get back out there and start bringing people in again, Katrina. Get back on top.
I know it. He's set the bar pretty high, the way I understand it. I don't know his numbers, but yeah, I recruited a few. Shane brought me in, and then honestly, just drew a blank right now about who. Oh, actually, some of your people, two of the liquid tank drivers, Eric.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, Eric Von Ray and Chris Afton, because they're local to this county where I'm from.
Sure. So, yeah, both great guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, keep bringing in the good ones. So
I try.
When your truck is running, tell us a little bit about what happens in the pneumatic division. Where do you typically go? what are some of your favorite cities to visit? I've seen some really awesome pictures that you put up. I think you get to go up to Canada sometimes,
Yes.
or Montana at
So,
least.
I like to go to that specific part of Canada, Saskatchewan and Alberta, that's north of Montana. That's my probably one of my favorite places. I'm wearing my Banff t-shirt right now.
Oh yeah, Banff is beautiful. You parked the truck up there and strategically take your 34 at a place you want to investigate a little bit.
I did, yeah. I had a blast. I rented a car. I parked my truck in Calgary and rented a car and drove out to the national park out there. And I
Yeah.
did some really weak old people rafting. And it was nothing, it was nothing strenuous at all, but it was fun. The water up there, because of some mineral process in the mountains, it's a really unique, specific blue color that it looks like I photoshopped the pictures, and I did. That's just the
Yeah.
color of the water. It's beautiful. So
Did you get to go to Lake Louise?
I did. I drove out to Lake Louise. I didn't see the other one, Lake Moraine, but apparently I didn't have enough time to do everything. So I did the
Right.
rafting and I did Lake Louise, and I just did the town of Banff a little bit. That was fun. A little bit of hiking. I didn't go far. It's grizzly season. I didn't want to make that investment in the bear spray. So
Yeah, it's an amazing place. I was up there probably 18 years ago, but kind of did the same thing you did. Flew into Calgary and rented a car and spent a few days in Banff, and then went up to Lake Louise for a couple days, and just some amazing scenery. You get to see a lot when you're a truck driver, though, don't you?
I do. I wish that, I think we all have the same wish when we're a truck driver. We see it and we pass it really fast, and we wish that we could go investigate it more. So
Yeah.
whenever I get a chance to do that, that's something I try to do. There's still a lot of places I want to either, take a 34 or just go on vacation when I'm not in a truck at all. So.
Right. Yeah, for sure. What originally got you into trucking? Was it you wanted to see the States?
My first husband, he's just right over there. We're still close friends. That's Lane's dad. So, he drove a truck, and I
Okay.
was really young whenever the first time I crawled into that. He hauled cattle, and
Okay.
I was 18. Yeah. So, and I maybe I didn't really want to have much to do with trucks or trucking. I was not in love with trucks, or I could not then have told you a Peterbilt from a Freightliner from a Kenworth.
Right. Yeah.
I didn't know a thing about it, and I really wasn't crazy about it. In fact, I just liked it.
Yeah. Well, the smell of the cattle can't be something fun.
They all say it smells like money. So,
Smell like money.
smells like money. Yeah. So, but yeah. So that's how you just, if we're going to want to or not, when you're around it all the time, you're going to pitch in and help out and absorb things. You're going to learn certain things. I wasn't a great driver, but I could do it in a pinch. I could help out. I did some. And then when, I was a nurse, an LVN in Texas, which is like an LPN in Minnesota.
Okay.
So I did that for 18 years. And when my son wanted to go to college in California, I thought, my license isn't going to work out there. It would take a lot. And I was kind of burned out anyway. Kind of know how to drive a truck. So I didn't have to go to school. And I think you do now, but I didn't. So
Okay.
I knew enough people that use the truck and take the test in it, and got a local job here at first. So I kind of did everything backwards from everybody else. Now I'm over the road and I love it. But I
Yeah.
started out locally. So I think most
Okay.
people do that the opposite.
Right.
Yeah, that's how all that went. So it's
Quite a
never my
journey. And
heart
then you ended up in the fracking fields.
Well, my very first local job actually was in the oil field, but it wasn't fracking. It was drilling. So a
Okay.
drilling end dump, and I would use drill cuttings from the drilling rigs. So that I was I guess the people that I knew that were in trucking at that time that helped me get my license were oil field people. So my first exposure was in the oil field, and then I tried the different things, and I came back to the oil field, but I went back to do the frac second time, and then from there got into pneumatics and the autumn.
Yeah. And what types of stuff do you typically haul with Autumn?
Oh, we do a lot of the brewer's malt, which is like a barley hops mixture. Take it to a lot of the breweries around the country,
Okay.
and that's always fun. The breweries are kind of cool. There's usually a restaurant in them. Sometimes, there's outside activities going on while you're unloading, or people are walking up and being curious, like, what are you doing? Can my son watch you unload? That's
Oh,
happened to me
wow.
with little kids. That's kind of fun. So,
Yeah.
and then
I
we do a lot of mined materials like clay and calcium, magnesium, all the fun stuff that people don't think about, but it makes everything else.
I like to go camping, and I go to a lot of the state parks around in Minnesota here, and all the ranger stations at the state parks sell little stickers, like a sticker with the emblem for that specific state park. Maybe I went to a place called Split Rock Lighthouse in Duluth, and so their sticker has a really cool lighthouse on it. But a lot of breweries also sell stickers. And it might be kind of cool if you started a little sticker collection on, showing all the different breweries that you've been to. I just saw a camper going down the road this week, and it had state park stickers all across the back of it from the different ones that they've
Yeah.
visited. I don't know,
Well,
just
since
something
I
kind of
can't
cool
collect
to.
them here, I might do the stickers.
Yeah. Yeah, they're usually $2-3, so it's like I think of it as kind of a cheap souvenir from my trips.
That's a good idea. I'm going to start doing that, Brent. Yeah.
Yeah, because you can't really grab the beer and bring it home with you, can you?
They frown on that.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, video too. Yeah.
Yeah, just in case Chris Senti's tuned in tonight, our safety director, I'm definitely not advising Katrina to bring beer home, and she's definitely saying she's not going to do that.
So it's just a sticker for me, Chris.
Just the stickers for me. So yeah, well, I wanted to ask you a couple questions here, Katrina, just to get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
If you remember, we used to do a little thing called This or That. And so I got a few things for you. Let me just pull them up. Bear with me here for a second.
Okay.
I don't want to get rid of you. All right, here we go. So, first question, Katrina, what gets you going in the morning? Coffee or an energy drink?
Coffee.
Do you drink it straight black, or do you like to put all that junk in it?
I like a little bit of coffee in with my French vanilla cream and some sugar.
Okay, so what gets you going is the French vanilla with a little bit of coffee flavor.
That's probably a more honest answer. Yeah.
All
What about
right.
you, Brent? Does anyone ever ask you these questions?
No, I'm the host. Nobody gets to ask me questions.
Oh, okay. But since we're here, do you like energy drinks or coffee?
I'm okay, so I have a routine. I'm a little bit I'm pretty routine driven, and so I have a 40-minute drive to work. So I usually start with an energy drink in the pickup, and I drink about half of it on the way in. And then first thing I do when I get to the office is grab my coffee mug, and I just go straight black coffee for the whole morning.
Okay, you're serious about the whole wake up thing.
Yeah, I have a little bit of a caffeine addiction, I think we could say. Next question. Do you prefer eating in the truck, or do you go in the truck stops?
In the truck.
In the truck. So
yeah.
do you meal prep? Are you a meal prepper? You get all your food for the week and then have your meals, or how do you do it?
Most of the time, I go to Walmart once a week,
Okay.
and I like to eat out of the truck. Things that every once in a while I'll get out once a week, maybe I'll get a meal that's a bought meal, or something that I pick up to go. But I don't really like to sit in the truck stops.
Well, you don't make any money if you're sitting in the truck stops too long, right?
That's not really why, but yeah, it's you
Yeah.
don't.
Well, I mean, from what I've learned and seen going in and eating at truck stops is it's really expensive. It's very
It is.
expensive.
It is.
And yeah, it slows you down. You end up sitting there longer sometimes than you planned on, and then you can easily burn up an hour, and you do that 5 days a week and you've burned up half a whole day.
Right.
I would definitely be an eat in the truck type of guy. I'm kind of I like to meal prep. My son actually just came over and I'm trying to teach him how to prep his meals so that he has good healthy food to eat. And he's 18, he's working a summer job, and all of his buddies want to go out to eat every day, and just trying to teach
Right.
him, save a lot of money and eat healthier if you plan ahead and you prep that stuff yourself.
Yes. Yes. I love fresh vegetables, and I can steam them in the microwave with just like a $7 steamer, which is probably the best thing I have in the truck. I don't do a lot of the intensive cooking, like meat dishes or anything like that, but I do
Yep.
like to, get maybe a pre-cooked frozen chicken breast and steam some vegetables, and that's probably 4 nights a week. Do that.
Oh man, that's a great idea. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's healthier and cheaper, and
Yeah,
yeah,
but
that's good. All right. Well, how about this, Katrina? We kind of touched on this. Would you rather take your reset in the mountains or at the beach?
mountains.
Yeah. I'm just gonna answer with you now since you made me answer the first one. So
Good.
I would definitely take mine in the mountains too. I can do like a day at the beach, couple of days, but I gotta move around. I gotta see the scenery. I like being in the mountains.
Me
How about
too.
when you're driving? You listen to more music while you drive or podcasts?
I listen to audiobooks.
Audiobooks? Okay.
Mhm. Yeah.
If we have some other audiobook listeners in the fleet, what book or two do you recommend?
Oh, book or two. That's very limiting.
Well, you can list 20 if you want, I guess.
I bet there are over 200 on my phone. But right now, I'm really enjoying a series that I have. Um, it's the Harry Bosch series. I think that Amazon Prime has the show called Bosch,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's just yeah. And so I'm listening to the books, and they're running a little bit the same, but they're enough different that I can watch the show and listen to the book. Still stay surprised. So
Oh, nice.
yeah, it's a
So,
spinoff from the Lincoln Lawyer, if you are familiar with that.
yes,
So
definitely. So I was gonna follow up. So is it mostly like nonfiction or fiction books that you're listening to? Mostly fiction?
yeah, mostly fiction.
Okay,
Yep, I like
great.
westerns or um, murder mysteries, just anything that will, take my mind away from, the too many miles.
Yeah.
It's not distracted driving, Chris. It's not.
Vince, have you heard of Vince Flynn?
I have
Yeah,
not.
the author named Vince Flynn.
Mm-mm.
He wrote a series of books. Unfortunately, very sadly, he passed away. He had cancer, I believe it was. But oh, hey Tom Goditis, you're supposed to be on vacation, Tom. Thanks for checking in with us. I got a great load planned for you Monday when you get back. So enjoy it, and we'll get back after it. Thanks for stopping in. Vince Flynn, yeah, he writes. He had a main character that they actually made a movie out of him. His name was Mitch Rapp. That's the main character. I think the movie was called American Assassin.
Okay.
But Vince has 7 or 8 books in this series, and really good. Kind of like, have you ever heard of the movie Jack Ryan or the show Jack Ryan?
Yeah, I've seen it on Amazon.
Yeah, so it's kind of like that, kind of like political and things going on in the world and spies and taking down bad guys and stuff like that. So they're really fun books to read. I haven't listened to them, but I've read all of them.
Lots of action in there.
Yes, exactly. Last question here for you. What is the best chicken place? Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, or Raising Cane's? Or other, if there's something in the South you love.
Okay, it's a close second. Church's chicken would be a close second. And if
Churches?
I don't, churches, but the Lord's chicken, Chick-fil-A,
Yeah.
is far and away the best chicken that there is.
All right. Well, my son, who I'm trying to get meal prep, is a big Raising Cane's fan. So I'm trying to get him off of the Raising Cane's and into the meal prep because that stuff's expensive. But I'm a Chick-fil-A guy too.
Yeah,
I'll go with you on that.
those waffle fries. You
Oh
just can't
man.
beat those waffle fries. That's my
Okay,
guilty
so
pleasure.
since you brought it up, I'll out myself for everybody watching. I'm kind of known around the office as the what would you say? The food trash can. Pretty much anything that's left over somebody doesn't want, I raise my hand. And the other day, Julie, our owner, boss Julie, walked into the lunchroom, and a few of us were back there, and she said, "Who? I got a half a thing here of Chick-fil-A waffle fries. Is anybody interested in it?" And I didn't raise my hand right away. I wanted to give everybody else a chance, but nobody else claimed them. So I slowly put my hand up in the air and said I would take them. And she said, "Well, I knew you'd take them. I wanted to let somebody else have a turn for once." So Chick-fil-A waffle fries, you can't beat them.
You can't. You can't beat Chick-fil-A waffle fries.
Well, hey, Katrina, thank you so much for coming on here. I hope, when are they thinking they're going to get your truck fixed?
He's going to look at it first thing in the morning, and hopefully, I know it's not the compressor. I just had that fixed, and I checked it myself. So I'm not sure if maybe just the system needs to be flushed or it's some electrical problem, but hopefully in just a day or two, I'll be headed back out there. But maybe that run is, I think Chris was on the very same run I'm doing. So
Yes, maybe there's an air conditioning curse on that run.
we need to, yeah, there might be.
Hey, if anybody's watching this, Katrina, and they're like wanting to know Autumn drivers, they're listening to your story, they're considering Autumn, I guess, kind of to wrap it up here, what advice would you have for them, or what would you say about Autumn as a company and your experience here?
It's going to be just as much as you put in, you're going to get back that same amount. So if you're, willing to put in some work and, be a team player, you're going to get that back. You're going to get everything back, probably plus more. I wish that I could have found them even earlier than I did and started off, with them. But maybe that's bad, because I think it takes sometimes, knowing the bad side or the dark side of something before you can really appreciate, that they are honest, that they are, who you would want to partner with if you not knowing them, but if you were just like, oh, I wish I could, define the things, the qualities in a company that I wanted to have to lease onto, to partner with, to help me get, break in and become an owner operator. But those qualities that you would be wanting, that's what you would find at Autumn. You would want somebody that's honest with you, that is consistent. I know there are loads out there that people get that aren't at Autumn sometimes, that probably pay more money, but they're one-offs, like the oil field. Some days that the oil field pays more money, but it's not consistent. And there's such consistency here. That's one of no, there's not a best thing, because the people are great, and the loads are good, the teamwork is great, the family atmosphere is great. But the consistency, if you're, a worker, and you're trying to make money, and you need to know that if you go to work, there's going to be work for you. That's probably the biggest thing that they bring, and how much support that they'll give you when you break down, So that's the best things I could say about Autumn to other people. Is, there's somebody out there maybe made more money than you this week hauling a load to Alaska or somewhere.
Sure.
But when next week I'm still going to be hauling this great load for Autumn, and the week after that, and the week after that, and working with great people the whole time that I do it. So that you cannot beat those qualities: the consistency, the honesty, and the work ethic here. Do it.
Awesome. Well, I told you before we came on here that I wanted to share something a little bit that might embarrass you. And
Yeah,
I almost forgot, but I'm gonna bring this back up because it's been a few years, and I want everyone to get a little bit more of an idea about who you are, Katrina. So why don't everybody watch this?
Hi, my name is Michaela Smith, and I am with Autumn Transport. Katrina Hillard can be summed up in one word: humble. Okay, maybe more than one word: helpful and sweet. Katrina hauls a pneumatic trailer for Autumn Transport. She loves to run out west through Montana in the mountains and deserts of the high country. Katrina was a great choice for Driver of the Month because she is so kind and compassionate to other drivers, helping them learn about hauling a pneumatic trailer, always willing to help others, and she's only a phone call away when someone needs help. She is a dependable driver who always gets her loads in on time and has good communication skills, which dispatch really appreciates. Katrina gives back to the industry and helps to bring a positive image to the trucking industry by cleaning up trash at truck stops when she takes a break from reading her favorite books. When not trucking, Katrina enjoys time with her grandniece and nephews and her grand dogs. She also loves spending time with her son Lane and enjoying a meat and onion pizza. Thank you, Katrina, for all you do. We look forward to many more years of working with you.
How about that?
Wow.
Oh man. Hey Todd, if you didn't hear earlier, Todd, Katrina said hello to you and a shout out to your wife Shelly.
Oh yeah.
Katrina, a meat and onion pizza?
Yeah, there's kind of a story. I guess when you're a mom, and people ask you what kind of pizza you want, you just order what the kids want.
Okay.
And then when your kids are grown, and one day I realized I don't even know what kind of pizza I really like. So I started to try to figure that out, and I came upon the fact that I like a thin crust meat and onion pizza with easy sauce. So
Okay.
I would have never known that if the kids had grown up. So
Well, doesn't that just show exactly to what the video said, that you are a humble person, and we're so lucky to have you at Autumn, Katrina. Thank you for coming on tonight.
thank you so much. That's awesome, Brent. Thanks.
All right. Good night, Katrina.
Bye.